To our docent trainee tour guide tours that we're going to have today. This is an extended shuttle bus tour, and we are excited for you to experience the wonderful skills that our docents have. Taniya Nash, she also attended the Summer Youth Works program with us.
Less than 20 years after slavery ended, white Southern races were back in power. Their goal was to return Black Americans back to a condition of dependence and servitude, a virtual slavery. To accomplish this goal, they devised a system of racial oppression known as Jim Crow. Its first move was to attack Blacks' political strength by depriving them the right to vote. We are about to embark on a tour through Baltimore City neighborhoods to see how Black people saw the strengthening of African American communities as a way to fight Jim Crow.
On your left is the boxing center.
Lightweight flyweight champion of the world. No, Tank.
Okay. Here is the Avenue Market. The Avenue Market was once known as the Lafayette Market and was later renamed. It's where Blacks went to go buy goods and sell and go because many places were segregated or were forbidden for Black people. So Pennsylvania Avenue was the place for Blacks to go because it was for Black arts and entertainment. It's the center for them. We are now on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah. It's open now.
We are coming up on the Billie Holiday statue, and we will get out and I will explain.
Okay, we are at the Billie Holiday statue. Now I'd like to talk to you about Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday was a famous jazz singer of her time. She performed all over. Although she was born in Pennsylvania, or was allegedly born in Pennsylvania, many believe that she was born in Baltimore. She has a very, very large impact in Baltimore and the Black Entertainment Center of Baltimore City. She performed many songs across the street from her statue, and that is the Royal Theater. The Royal Theater was a place where many African American people went to see plays, songs being sung by artists, and many more. Sadly, it was torn down, and there is a memorial left for what was known as the Royal Theater today. Billie Holiday was a known singer, as I said before, but her most popular and most controversial song was her song Strange Fruit. It wasn't written by her, but it was sung by her. Most controversial song was her song Strange Fruit, referencing Black men and women being lynched and hung, saying it's a strange fruit hanging from the tree.
Her name was Eleanor Harris, but people call her Billie Holiday. And if you want more information, you can read the statue for the legacies and things that she did. And the statue, the building of the statue, and more information.
The property located at 1320 is the address of Lily Carroll Jackson. Lily Carroll Jackson was a famous African American woman who talked about and was a part in the organization of the NAACP.
Good morning, my name is Tanaya Nash. I will be explaining briefly about the Lily Mercaro Museum before we go in to be guided by a docent inside the museum. Lily Mercaro Jackson was born on May 25th, 1889. She was an activist and she was an organizer for the NAACP, and she worked alongside people like Martin Luther King, Thurgood Marshall, etc. And she was an activist and changed many things, and that helped with equity amongst African Americans and permitted them to go into some schools in Baltimore. What else to say? She valued faith, education, and family. That was one of her most prized things that she held close to her heart. And she also had health complications that you will further learn inside the museum. And she had to get a surgery which affected the muscles in her face, and it affected her speech and her facial expressions, and she usually took pictures on the other side where the damage was done. She said she would dedicate herself, and she prayed to the Lord that if her face remained and if her health pulled through, that she would dedicate herself to serving her people for the betterment of African Americans and to have integration and to be equal. Lily Mae Carroll was an activist who helped her child get into that school. One of her daughters also married Clarence Mitchell Jr., and he was also an activist who did many things to promote equity amongst African Americans. Her child, or her daughter, is the director of the museum, and she coordinates most of the things that happens inside of it. Her mother wanted, or Lily Mae wanted to have the museum dedicated to be her home to be a museum when she passed, so people can know what happened in the past. There's a lot of pictures and artifacts and stuff. Well, not artifacts really, but items in her home that was hers. When you go in there, is an orientation room in the back where her graduation dress and her picture was shown in the back, with her holding, I believe, was either her diploma or her degree. When you walk in, I believe that was a banner for the NAACP. When people were lynched or hanged, they would put that banner outside, and I believe it was like a man was lynched yesterday or today, and they put that out there to raise awareness to the people who didn't know. I believe that's it.
We're going to walk up the street to the museum now.
You got ring with
And she would have such guests as Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Jackie Robinson, and of course Clarence Mitchell, her son-in-law and daughter, Juanita Jackson Mitchell. Those names sound familiar, young men in the back, the tall guys. Were you here before?
I'm sorry, yeah, I was here.
Okay, all right, so I can ask you lots of questions, right? So, welcome, welcome. Now, I'm going to take you this way.
Sima holiday, sima takuaya. Sima holiday, holiday, sima takuaya.